Hello and welcome to Learn English with Monica. Today's video is about the history of the English language. English is one of the most spoken languages in the world, with over 1.35 billion speakers worldwide. How did this incredible language evolve over time and get to where it is today? Unlike languages that developed within one single country or distinct geographical region, English, since its beginnings 1,600 or so years ago, evolved by crossing boundaries and through invasions. Bits and pieces of other languages were picked up along the way. The origins of the English language come from the arrival of the Anglo-Saxons from Central Europe to the British Isles in 400 AD. The Anglo-Saxons were a group of Germanic-speaking people who settled in Britain in the early Middle Ages. They were made up of tribes from Germany, Denmark, and the Netherlands. Their language, now known as Old English, was soon adopted as the common language. Although you and I would find it hard to understand Old English, it provided a solid foundation for the language that we speak today and gave us many essential words like be, strong, and water. Old English had very Germanic words and was rarely written down. When it was written down, it was written in runes. This is an alphabet completely different from the Latin alphabet used for English today. Old English grammar was very complicated, close to Old German. Here's an example of some Old English. I really have no idea how to pronounce or read any of these words or sentences. With the Viking invasions, Old English got mixed up with Old Norse, the language of the Viking tribes. The Vikings were a tribe from Scandinavia. Old Norse ended up giving English more than 2,000 new words, including give, take, egg, knife, husband, and run. English was spoken widely on the British Isles by 1000 AD. However, things changed when in 1066, William the Conqueror led the Norman invasion of England. This marked the beginning of the Middle English period. This invasion brought a major influence to English from Latin and French. French became the language of royals and people of power. Old English was left to the peasants. Peasants were poor people with little education or status. Despite Old English having a low status at the time, it continued to develop and grow by adopting many Latin and French words, including everyday words such as beer, city, fruit, and people. By adopting and adapting French words, the English language also became more sophisticated. 10,000 words were introduced during the Middle English period, including words beginning with con, de, dis, and en, such as conceal, continue, demand, encounter, disengage, and engage. In the 14th and 15th century, following the 100 Years' War with France that ended French rule of the British Isles, English became the language of power and influence once again. The English Renaissance saw thousands of Greek and Latin-based words enter the English language. Writers such as William Shakespeare had a major influence on the development of the English language. Shakespeare is said to have invented at least 1,700 words, including alligator, puppy dog, and fashionable. During Queen Elizabeth I's reign, exploration and piracy was another source for English vocabulary. These words came mainly from the Spanish and Portuguese. Explorers also adopted words from the Caribbean and Native America, such as tobacco and potato. Britain's share in the world trade saw an increase of new words entering the English vocabulary, including words from the Netherlands, such as landscape, booze, schooner, easel, and sketch. The rapidly developing world of science started changing the English language in the 17th and 18th centuries. It included the invention of new words such as gravity, acid, and electricity, And as the English-speaking world was at the centre of a lot of scientific progress, scientific advances went hand in hand with the evolution of the language. It wasn't until Britain became a colonial master that the spread of English really picked up the pace. By the early 20th century, Britain had established imperial control over more than a quarter of the world. This resulted in the development of local versions and dialects of English, and brought with it more new words. The word barbecue, for example, was picked up from the Caribbean, while the word zombie was adopted from Africa. Numerous words from India alone have become common in English, such as pyjamas, khaki, bungalow, and shampoo. The Oxford English Dictionary, which was first published in 1884, standardised spelling and ensured that English speakers all over the world could understand each other. America has also had a big impact on English, especially as American movies, songs, and literature became popular in England. The US were also allies of Britain in the two world wars. All of these factors together, including the age of technology, means that even more Americanisms and phrases have been adopted into the English vocabulary. Examples of American-influenced words include raincoat, skyscraper, cocktail, and cookie. Even today, the English language is still constantly evolving. Approximately 1,000 new words get added to the Oxford Dictionary every year. Thank you for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed it. See you next time.